Welcome to Good Morning DRC TV. We are so happy to be able to bring you some information in terms of what is happening around the nations in Africa. And today we want to focus again on Niger. We want to update you on what the situation is at the moment. But before I go on to do this, can I please ask you, my viewers, wherever you are, if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, please subscribe now. Share this link with the people that you know and give us thumbs up or your comments so we can bring you appropriate content next time. Today we are speaking what is happening in Niger, and I just want you to quickly see what is the development of the situation. We understand today that the French ambassador and his team apparently are being held hostage. This is what Macron, the president of France, has just basically released, and this is his sayings. In Niger, as I speak to you, we have an ambassador and diplomatic members actually at the French embassy. Food is being prevented from being delivered. They are eating with military rations. They are staying there simply because France is supporting democracy and considers that there are no double standards for Africa, and considers that President Bazoum held hostage at home is the legitimate elected president. How would you like us to issue visas or to carry out cultural cooperation when you are no longer have the possibility even for an ambassador to go out? When he's persona non grata, and when we refuse that, he can feed himself, declare the French president. This is basically what is happening in France. President Macron is talking about what is currently happening in Niger. What we do understand is the development of this situation, because the military coup that has taken place in Niger, it's somewhat evolving, but we have to ask ourselves, what is it evolving into? What is it becoming? Why is that situation the way it is now? From what we do understand is that France is still very much supporting President Bazoum, and they only consider him to be the president up to this very moment. And as we said in previous videos, if you haven't watched, that France is ready to deploy and to do whatever President Bazoum says. France has been, if you like, suspected, and there are military forces around the country, around Niger, that are suspecting that France has already released its military personnel in the country. And they're also saying that that is currently happening in neighboring country as well, in Burkina Faso, in what is happening in Chad and in Mali. So what they are suspecting is that France doesn't want to live, as it is the case now in Niger. What will happen is that because they're holding them as hostage, the French president just doesn't know. I mean, he knows because he has plans. He's already thinking about what the next move is going to be. But I can tell you, at this situation, you know, in his position, I don't know what he will do, but it is just a situation that is deteriorating. We don't know what the next hour or day or week would be like, but it's not sounding right. I mean, we understand. Yes, democracy, yes, and only a president that is elected is recognized and should be listened to. But yes, we do understand, but the only thing that we see here is the double standard that France seems to play. When they are in the country that they are somewhat important and that they have their interest and they want to carry on, if you like, exercising control, then they will do anything to support. the president in power. But if they don't want you there, they will amount pressure. They will do whatever it takes really to get you out of power. So in these circumstances, we understand that President Bazoum is very much supported by France, and then they will do anything to keep him there. Look what's happened to Ali Bongo. And you can understand that in all these places, France has always had a major role that it has been playing all along. What we're saying is this, and from what we gather, as much as we don't like what is happening in these African countries, we need to understand that the West must get the message that it is time to leave Africa to Africans. They must understand that time is up. You cannot just come and take our resources and then go and make yourself rich and industrialized and then leave Africa and African in the state that the continent is at the moment. It doesn't work that way. And this is why young Africans are rising up and they're standing up. They're saying, no, enough is enough. It is time to go. It is time to let us take on our own responsibility and choose our own leaders and develop our countries. And that's the way it's supposed to be. So if they're going to be trade, not foreign aid, trade between the countries, then there's supposed to be mutual respect. As much as Niger would respect France, France is supposed to respect Niger as well. They must do business, and this is the way things are supposed to be done. But I can tell you the France era is just coming to an end. France Africa is just going very, very bad. And I wonder if this is the legacy that Emmanuel Macron would like to leave behind him. But it's not looking good for him, folks. Here we are today, French ambassador and his team held hostage within the embassy. And now they're talking about issuing visa, cultural cooperation. I mean, all these years that they have been there, what have they done? What have they done? When you look at the state of Niger at the moment, you look at the level of poverty that exists there right now. While they had all these natural resources that have been shipping, that have been taken to France, and many of the businesses are held by French investors. Now, this is supposed to say something, and I just want people to know and understand that the time has come. Time has come for Africa to rise in a good way. Okay, we're not saying here that take away one leader and bring somebody else who's going to ruin the country, who's going basically to enrich themselves, enrich their family to the detriment of others. What we're saying here, it is time for Africans to stand up and fight for themselves, because nobody's going to do it unless Africans themselves do it. This is the case in Niger. Okay, we just want you to be aware of the fact that things are developing and it's going quite badly for France. We don't know what the next strategy is. We don't know what move Macron will take, but all we do know is that in the neighboring countries there are French military personnel stand by. Now we don't know whether they will attack or what they will do, but we understand that France will take any action possible in order to liberate its own people. So this is the news that we wanted to bring you right now as it's unfolding, and yet we will bring you some more this evening, and depending on how things go. Please, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, do subscribe, share this link, and give us thumbs up. Thank you.